Hello, everyone. I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMovieScreens.com, and I got another movie to review for you guys, and that would be Trolls. Now, this is the newest one from DreamWorks Animation, and I wasn't looking forward to it. And I forgot my alcohol, so this is going to be rough to get through. All right, so yeah, I mean, this is another DreamWorks Animation film I was not looking forward to. I had a chance to see it. I wanted it to be good. I go into every single movie wanting it to be something special, especially in the animation realm when we have films like this year, you know, like Zootopia or Finding Dory or even Sausage Party for that matter, Kubo and the Two Strings. Yeah, a little disappointed in this one. I really did not like it. So let's get real and break down Trolls. Let's start with the writing and directing. Now, before I begin my review, I'm going to do this in two separate visions. I'm going to do it through an adult's eyes. I'm going to do it through a kid's eyes because the grade is going to fluctuate just a little bit, but still, I think overall it's just, vapid entertainment for your child, and they won't forget about it next. They won't remember it like next week. So, all right. So let's start with the writing in particular. The story itself is not that. It's not that intriguing. It is very standard. These trolls are growing out of these trees in the Bergens little village. They look like giant, just monsters, and they eat trolls because trolls are very happy and they desire the need for happiness, and so they grow these trolls in the trees or whatever, and then the trolls escape, and then they go start their own little world. It looks like it's 10 miles down the road. It doesn't even look that far, and it takes them like 30 years to find them. But anyways, and then the trolls get kidnapped, and then the bunch has to go save them. As a story itself, it is not that compelling. It is not that deep. Yes, there are a lot of messages for kids that are really great. Be yourself, be confident in what you are, and don't let anyone put you down or whatever. Be you, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I like those themes in kids' movies. Those are totally fine with me. There's also this weird theme of since the Bergens desire happiness from the trolls, that I correlated with greed in our society, and how people think getting money and stuff will make them happy, but ultimately they're probably sad on the inside. So I'm probably looking into it too much, but I noticed that correlation in the theme. But that's about it. In terms of this, those are the themes and stuff. But the story itself is just it's nothing but just these trolls getting trolls back. That's it. And the story ends on such a weak kind of ending. Is just you have all this build up for an hour and a half, and then just ends in the credits. And you're like, well, wait, what? So it's just a very mindless movie for great colors and stuff for your kids to watch and stuff. Just for me personally, it's not that the most intriguing of stories. In terms of the dialogue, I will give it credit in this. I thought it was funnier than it actually was. There was a lot of elements of innuendo. For adults, there were a lot of kid type of humor, potty humor, and then there was even some dark humor thrown in there. I was like, DreamWorks, I see what you're doing there. You're not going to do any more of that, are you? No? Well, now I'm going to go sit back and relax. So I thought the dialogue itself was very fast. It was very quippy and stuff. And I thought there was a lot of humor to actually engage the adults and the kids in the audience. Because I did see this in a crowded theater. Yes, there was 2 lines of press, and then the rest were filled with families and children and stuff. So I was gauging the reactions from children and stuff. And the children really did like the humor for the most part. And I found myself kind of giggling, smirking a little bit. So I will give it credit in that. As far as the characters go, no one's memorable. I mean, everyone's got small little backstories that's explained in a 30-second scene, and then that's it. That's all you really know. So they're very, very thin characters. Really, no one's memorable. It's not like a Zootopia where you have a Judy Hopps or a Nick Wilder. You have Finding Dory with Dory, or hell, even in the Sausage Party, you have Frank the hot dog. So, or Kubo from Kubo and the Two Strings. I don't remember the main troll's name, so everyone's pretty forgettable in terms of that through an adult's eyes. But as far as a kid goes, I think it's something that if you played on in the background, you could totally set them in front for an hour and a half. You can go do your thing, and then you can come back, and then you guys can do whatever afterwards. I think the kids would probably be more in tune to it than adults would. But it doesn't really look good either way. In terms of the directing, like I said, those themes are playing in there. Be who you are, be yourself, and then the greed theme that I don't think anyone's ever going to get. But I figured it out. Like I said, I'm looking way too much into this than I should. But As far as the direction goes, I think it's very vapid. It's very just lifeless. It's just very colorful, vomit on screen to keep your, sibling or kid or whatever, to have their attention held for that hour and a half. But I don't think there's anything new here in terms of DreamWorks animation. When you look at something like a Shrek that has a really great spin on a fairy tale, very well directed, or when you look at How to Train Your Dragon, it's like a mini Game of Thrones for kids while still having really good adult themes while still looking extremely beautiful, or even looking at Kung Fu Panda and, looking at the theme of like finding your place in life and, where do you fit in and, becoming a stronger person than you once were. Like, it's the hero's rise or whatever. Like that's great storytelling, but it's just for the direction here, nothing to it. Just very, just blah. I mean, I can't think of any words because this movie just drives me crazy. And the other thing about the writing and directing before we get into the other stuff is that the music, they really harp on the music in terms of like, hey, this is original songs. Yay. Like Justin Timberlake helped us write it. That's cool and everything. And I will admit the songs were a little catchy. And yes, the songs played into the situations at hand in the story itself with the characters. However, if you take those songs out, you don't even notice. Like there's no difference whatsoever. So I feel like the songs were just a marketing gimmick instead of an actual story telling element. And a lot of people will counteract with like, but they're trolls, or they're supposed to be happy, they're supposed to be, very musical and stuff. They even say that in the beginning of the movie, and that's fine, that's cool and everything. But it feels more jarring than it feels more in flow with the story and stuff. So that's just me personally. Even though I do admire some of the catchiness of the songs, just not for me. Going into the voice acting, speaking of the trolls and the singing, Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick headline the two top people. And I think like I said, their voices sound great when they sing and whatnot. And I think in terms of their acting abilities and their performances with the characters, it's very average. Like they hit the points they needed to hit in terms of like, the trolls are happy. Hey, the trolls are sad. Be sad and emote the sadness or whatever. They delivered that. It's fine. There's nothing like spectacular where it's like, Finding Dory, where it's like, I don't even see Ellen DeGeneres. I see a talking bluefish that has memory loss, or like Zootopia. I do not see Jason Bateman. I see a fox that's very cunning and just like likes to screw over little bunnies and stuff. For this one, it's like if you change them out to any other voice actor, I really honestly couldn't tell, because it's like you could switch out and be like, okay, like I'm okay with that switch, like because I don't even know it's a big name. Like, who is it again? Like it's just one of those movies that like it doesn't even require big name people. You could have gotten smaller people. That's what I was trying to get. I'm sorry. Like I said, this movie drives me crazy. It's hard to get out all my thoughts. Voice acting overall just very run of the mill. Even though I do, like I said, I like their singing. Their singing's fine. It's just you take the songs out, makes no bit of a difference. Cinematography-wise, I thought the animation did look beautiful. I love the texture on the furs of the trolls, or the texture of the grass, or the environments, or the dirt, or the way the Bergen's village looked. It was very gloomy and dour, and then you go to the troll land. It's very bright and colorful, and it's inviting, and you want to go there. So I thought the animation overall was very, very good, very crisp, very clear, very detailed, which provides for very interesting cinematic works in terms of the shot placements and stuff. And especially even in the Bergen's village, the giant monsters or whatever trying to eat them. Yes, it is very filled with a lot of grays and stuff, but it's still intriguing. It's still a little creative on the animation front and whatnot. So I will give them props on the cinematography and the animation. I thought it was very, very crisp and very clean. As far as editing goes, it's an hour and a half long. The movie drags, especially when the humor does not hit, and they're just like, there's even one character. It's like a cloud character, and like he's just throwing out all these jokes like left and right. Some of them don't even hit, and you're just like, it's like watching some bad stand up, and it's like, just sit down, Cloud. No one just sit down, Cloud. So when the humor was being spat out and it was not funny, it definitely slowed the movie down. And with such a thin premise as it is, it's already slow to begin with. So you have to have that fast kind of dialogue to keep it going. And you do for the most part, but for that hour and a half, it does drag in a lot of places, and it just feels way longer than it should. Overall, guys, I did not care for Trolls. When you're coming from the same animation studio as the people that brought you Shrek or How to Train Your Dragon, or Kung Fu Panda, this is like below the par bar par bar? Is that what below par? Below the par bar. There you go. That makes no sense. But you guys don't understand what I mean. It's below their standards in terms of an animation company. Just look at their history. They have so many hits and misses, but when they hit it, they really hit it. But when they miss, they really miss. And this is one of those cases where it's like, if DreamWorks does not pull it out for their next one and do something a little bit more rich in story and whatnot, they're going to fail as a company. I did not care for Trolls whatsoever, especially when How to Train Your Dragon 2 came out 2 years ago. And that was fantastic. And then you follow up with Home, which is like, whatever. And then this, it's like, and people have to realize when you're an adult and you're kind of bashing on these kids' movies, I'm very hard on animation because here's the deal, folks. When you make an animated movie and you have an adult watch it, you would hope that it would have some replayability factor and not just be some movie that you regretfully get your kid because you want to shut them up for an hour and a half. It has to play both ways. And I realize there's movies like meant for children, like literally meant for like 3-year-olds or below. I get that. That's a market. But this could have been a little bit more sophisticated than it could have been. And I seriously think that all the kids that watch this movie, they're not going to remember it within a week. And when they grow up as an adult, you want to reminisce on your childhood. And I do not think this is one of those movies they'll go back and watch. I was born in 1990. I grew up with The Little Mermaid, The Aladdin, The Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast. I was at the prime age for that, like 5 years and below. As an adult, I can pop those movies in now, and I'm like, wow, this is a really great movie. When you have the beautiful animation, the great voice acting, and then you have all the adult themes plaguing throughout this movie, but still having a kid-friendly vibe, that's what you want in your animated movies. That's why when you have this year, I will say it again, when you have the social class and the racial issues of Zootopia, but having it in like a really colorful kind of utopia environment, it's appealing for both generations. When you have a Finding Dory, that it takes it a little step down, but you still have a fish who has memory loss and she's trying to get her memory back, and through the voice acting of Ellen DeGeneres, she could sell me on anything. I believed I was in that world underwater. Yeah, I got a little iffy towards the end, but I digress. Sausage Party, I didn't find it really funny, but I thought some of the commentary was really very clever. I thought Kubo and the Two Strings was like a really great kind of hero's rise type of tale you would tell your children at night before they go to bed. So there's elements about that I would love to go back and rewatch. I've seen Zootopia 3 times now because there's a lot of stuff in it that I can go back and like I can pick apart and be like, oh man, I didn't even notice that in the background. I didn't notice that. Or when you look at DreamWorks Animation slate, Shrek, there's so many hidden jokes you want to go back and like kind of rewatch and kind of catch again and kind of catch the cleverness of the story. Or when you go back and rewatch How to Train Your Dragon, you're like, I want to see all this beautiful like cinematic animation happening in front of me, and I didn't notice that in the background or whatever. It's the same with Kung Fu Panda. It's so environmentally like beautiful. It draws you in. There's nothing about this movie that will make me want to go back and rewatch it. Nothing about it draws me in. It is just lifeless, vapid, colorful entertainment for your kids for an hour and a half, and they will not remember it. But I think they will have a better time than you as the adult watching it. So through an adult, in an adult's eyes, I'm going to give Trolls a D+ because I thought the animation was great. The songs were catchy, even though unnecessary, and the humor did get me sometimes. But for a kid's eyes, I would give it a C+. I think it's a little bit above average, but they ain't going to remember it within a month, week, month, whatever. So yeah, that's my review of Trolls, guys. I know it was kind of a long one, kind of ranty, but it just kind of makes me angry when you have all these like brilliant animated movies that happened before just this year, and then you follow up with this as one of the last ones, and thankfully we got like Moana coming out and stuff. So it's way below par, especially considering what has come before it. So what did you guys think of Trolls, or have you even heard of it? Are you looking forward to it? Am I missing something? Can you just please slap me across the face online and comment down below and tell me how terrible I am, which I'm prone to. It's okay. Maybe I am missing something. Maybe there's a lot more to it than I was. People are, I have no idea. I'm tongue-tied because I'll guarantee you that I'm probably one of the few people that generally just do not like this movie whatsoever, but I'm sure there's people out there that like it. So let me know down below why you like it. Let's have a discussion about it. Would love to know your thought and your take on it. So that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, reporting for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I'll see you guys later.